Joshua's Covenant Stone by Sean Christopher. In the ancient town of Shechem stands a remarkable stone that has captivated the attention of scholars and archaeologists alike. Believed to date back to the time of Joshua, this stone, referred to as the Shechem Stone, or Joshua's Covenant Stone, is thought to be the very one mentioned in Joshua 24:25-28, where Joshua made a covenant with the people and erected a large stone as a witness to their vow. This raises two compelling questions. Is the stone that stands in Shechem today the same one Joshua placed there over 3,000 years ago? And how accurately can we date this historical moment? To begin answering these questions, we must first establish a timeline for Joshua himself. According to Joshua 24:29, he died at the age of 110. After these things, Joshua, son of Nun, the servant of Yahweh, died at the age of 110. Joshua was born in Egypt, which means he was born before the Exodus, traditionally dated to 1491 BC. If he died at 110, that would place his death no later than 1381 BC. However, for greater precision, we can work from the detail that Joshua was a young man, approximately 19 years old, at the time of the Exodus. This places his birth around 1510 BC in Egypt, and his death closer to 1400 BC in the land of Canaan. Joshua began leading the Israelites after the death of Moses in 1451 BC, making him about 59 years old when he assumed leadership. The conquest of Canaan, therefore, likely began around 1440 BC, a time frame supported by both biblical texts and external archaeological sources, give or take. One of the most compelling extra-biblical confirmations comes from the Amarna letters, discovered in Egypt in 1887 AD. These ancient clay tablets speak of a group called the Habaru, widely believed to be the Hebrews, who swept through the land of Canaan, conquering cities such as Hazor. This aligns perfectly with the biblical narrative of the kings of the East, who were struck down, where 31 kings from their respective cities in Canaan are subdued by Hebrew forces, found in Joshua 12. Hazor, in particular, is a crucial piece of the puzzle. The palace of Hazor was unearthed in excavations during 1957 to 1958 AD, and its ruins remain a powerful testament to its former prominence. Joshua 11:10-11 describes the conquest of Hazor and its king, Jabin, whose name appears in historical records as Jabin. Interestingly, Jabin is mentioned again in Judges 4 and 5 during the time of Deborah and her battle against Sisera, Jabin's military commander. This creates an intriguing chronological tension. If Joshua died around 1400 BC, how could Jabin still be reigning during Deborah's time? This question of overlapping or recurrent names and potential dynasties invites deeper investigation and exactly the kind of historical puzzle that makes biblical archaeology so fascinating, as does that mean there was a Jabin II. It would seem to be the case, because Jabin was a dynastic name attributed to the area, and the time of Deborah and Barak are not the same period as of Joshua, who was deceased by 1400 BC. Returning to Shechem, it is not only the site of the covenant stone, but also the traditional burial place of Joseph. Though a tomb linked to Joseph exists there, his Egyptian mummy has never been found in Israel, another enduring mystery that continues to inspire both scholarly and spiritual quests. What is certain, however, is this: the presence of the covenant stone at Shechem strongly supports the historical reliability of the biblical account. It ties together multiple figures, Joshua, Jabin, Deborah, and Sisera, with physical locations such as Hazor and Shechem, grounding the biblical narrative in real geography and archaeology. In a land rich with layers of history, Israel continues to reveal its secrets. Each discovery, like the Shechem stone, brings us closer to understanding the world of the Bible, not just as a spiritual text, but as a record of real people, real places, and real events that is reliable.